our esteemed panel, we're going to debunk a lot of such misconceptions with solid knowledge and the experience that we have. I'd first like to introduce our panelists here. Dr. Gitika Mittal, she's an entrepreneur and dermatologist. Besides her expertise in skincare and beauty, what makes her an ideal speaker today is her ability to blend scientific understanding with practical advice. Next, I have with us Dr. Eta Chadha. She's a dental surgeon and a smile designer. What a beautiful description that is. And I think as we are growing, everyone, we are facing more and more challenges with our dental wellness. So let's understand how to keep it up like every day. Then we have with us Miss Madhvi Advani. She's the founder of Luxury Co Biz and Luxury Club. And then Miss Vasudha Rai. She's a beauty influencer, celebrity dermatologist. Today we all. Oh, you're not? Oh, sorry.
Very close.
Very close. See, your knowledge is so relevant.
Very close.
All right. So my first question is to you, Dr. Gitika. What are the most common beauty myths that you come across?
That's actually my favorite question.
Oh,
and
wow.
I love answering this question over and over again.
Okay.
And while I arrived early, I was going around and meeting everyone, and I could hear so many myths being spoken about, and with so much confidence, I was like, wow, I'm going to talk about them today. So first one is, of course, pores. I love it how people feel that pores open and close. That's actually the biggest myth. We all have pores, and I understand pore is a core issue for a lot of people when it comes to skin and skincare, but nothing can actually open or close them. Definitely, there's some people who have a certain genetic makeup and a skin type that pores are more visible. Application of certain products can make the size appear smaller, or some treatments can make them smaller, but we all have pores. And the second one, if the time allows,
Yes, please.
is sunblock. I love it how people still tend to spread wrong information about sunblock. One is you don't need sunblock when it's winter, it's cloudy, it's rainy. Second is I have low vitamin D, I need the sun, I don't need sunblock. Third is, oh, sunblock is causing cancer, it's going inside my blood and it's causing cancer. So this kind of misinformation which is spreading, it's actually very harmful.
Right.
Because people sometimes think if I'm getting that base level tan, little bit of tan is protecting me, that's wrong. Sun rays are actually damaging your DNA. So you have to protect your skin from sun damage, not only for aesthetic or vanity, but also from protecting it. So be it from cancer or be it from early signs of aging, you have to apply sunblock. The right quantity, which is about 2 to 3 finger rule, and every 3 to 4 hours you have to reapply. There is no shortcut to it. So choose the sunblock that you like. And third one, of course, I'm too young to start a skincare routine. I'm naturally like this. My dadi did not put anything, and she has such lovely skin. God bless our grandmoms and our mothers too for that. But you know, that age and time, everything was very pure. There was no pollution also to start with. All these things have such a huge impact, and you should, and we should, use technology for our benefit, right? Why are we using iPhones, the most upgraded one? We are using technology for our benefit. So science is there to help you. So educate yourself and use science to your benefit.
Wow, this is actually, in one go, she's helped us with 3 very important pointers that we actually come across in our daily lives. You know, my next question would be to you, Dr. Chadha. Dental health is very important. And I'm sure over the years, people perception have changed to, you know, how we take care of our dental health. Please tell us, what are such myths that you come across, the kind of questions people ask you?
Dentistry was the most ignored factor in our country. People never thought or gave any importance to any dental treatment ever. For them, this is the last thing. They have one heart, they'll take care of it, but they have 32 teeth, but they will not take care of it. So, that's the last thing that comes to their mind. Ki this is something which we need to pay attention to. And they only realize it once they start losing it. Okay, so you have one set which you get as a child, one set as an adult set of teeth, and one dental set which you get from your dentist. So the biggest myth is कि हम कुछ नहीं करेंगे और फिर भी हमारे दांत चलेंगे, ऐसा नहीं होने वाला है. So you need to give a lot of attention and a focus to your dental health. Like everything needs servicing, oral cavity also needs servicing. You go for your hair color monthly, we are not expecting you to come monthly, but 6 monthly is mandatory. But for years people take pride in saying कि मेरे को तो कुछ है नहीं, मेरे को कोई दर्द नहीं है, मेरे को डेंटिस्ट के पास जाने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. But they don't know what is underlying stuff which is happening. And unless and until you go on a regular feature, the people who come to us regularly, I can tell you that they are the ones whose teeth last them for a lifetime, and they are the ones who don't get the dentist set of teeth. Second most important thing is that everybody thinks dentistry is really expensive and it's going to make a hole in my pocket. But if you come for prevention and not for treatment, it is not expensive.
That's so true. Yes.
Okay, if you come for your routine checkups, it is not going to burn a hole in your pocket. It is only once you have not come for 50, 60 years who will create a hole in your pocket. I have somebody in the audience whose grandson comes all the way from Bangalore to she's right there.
Okay.
So so I have people who will visit, make sure that they are coming for their regular thing every 6 months. She has a mandatory thing, whether there is a problem or not. If you do prevention, there is no this thing. This morning we had a session on sleep apnea. What most people don't realize is that sleep apnea is something people wear an appliance at night and sleep with it, but it is so dental related.
Oh, is it?
People don't have the knowledge only that this could have been cured when you were a young lad. Because you have the roof of the mouth is also the floor of the nose. So people who are thumb suckers or open their mouth at night are more prone to get sleep apnea than the rest. So if you wear the appliance at the right time, you will not get this problem. There is another issue which you may have because you have inherently a nasal deviation, septum deviation, or any other, people more overweight also tend to have more sleep apnea issues. But there is a dental appliance which you can wear, which you will not snore with. You don't need to go for a surgery. You don't need to spend so much, but you can just do that. A visit to a dentist could tell you whether you have diabetes or a liver issue because your mouth has a particular smell. People are not even aware of that I could have this sorted because this mouth, even when they brush morning, evening, they will still have that lingering breath, So that lingering breath comes from a stomach issue or a liver issue, or sometimes even a kidney issue. So that smell is so particular and distinctive that you can diagnose that this is coming from this particular area. Also, looking at the mouth, you have leukoplakia, or you have, so you can make out from the oral cavity a lot of things, whether you have a gum disease, you're diabetic, you have a liver issue, you have a gut issue, is all very visible. So those are, and the common myth is, people think that हमने wisdom tooth निकाला है, मेरी eyesight weak होने वाली है.
Oh my God. Okay.
That people come up कि मैंने दांत निकालूंगा तो मेरी eyesight weak हो जाएगी is another common myth. The
Right.
eye nerve and the dental nerve have no connection whatsoever. It is just that when people used to get these teeth out was in the age group of 45 to 55, and that's the time when your eyesight was also needing something. So this myth has got attached with dentistry.
Oh my God.
And one thing, the last thing that I would like to say about my smile designing is, most people think that we are over 50 years of age, we don't need a smile design now, or we don't fit into the smile design category. Everybody today 70 is the new 50 today. 50,
Right.
30 is the new 50 today. So we all need to look. So there are those veneers can magically transform. I have some in the audience who have done that and who have realized that you can do a lot of things and it can take away. And people will say, oh, you're looking very beautiful, but they will not be able to pinpoint that that is the thing which is making the entire difference to your whole personality. So veneers are not just because it's age related or something. It is something which we should all do to improve the thing.
Wow, what insightful information. Two things definitely come out of it. Dentist visit is not SOS. Please mark your calendars, update it, make it a point that you visit your dentist regularly. I'd now like to go to Vasudha. We're discussing social media. I'm sure your DMs, you get all the comments. What are the kind of myths or, common questions you are asked on your account through your Instagram by different age group of people?
Um, well, a mix of questions, honestly. The guys, they sent me pictures of their scalp. And they
Okay.
asked me if there are any natural remedies to grow hair. And I'm like, listen, there's nothing about, that you can do about male pattern bonding. Just get a transplant, or bad filler jobs. I look like a
Right.
stuffed toy. What do I do? But mostly it's about, what kind of hair oil do I use? What kind of this? But, speaking of social media, there is so much of misinformation floating around on social media, and it's all very binary. Like, right now we are becoming tolerant of everything, but it's so surprising that as far as trends and information is concerned, everything is very binary. On one side, we are being told that, like Dr. Gitika rightly mentioned, sunscreen will give you cancer.
Right.
And on the other hand, it's like, oh, if you do not get Botox and fillers, you are going to age so badly, your face will fall apart after you turn 40. Which brings me to my other point. The whole ageism that is there in social media, I don't know what people expect 40-year-olds to look like. Because they're surprised that, oh, you're over 40, oh my God, you look so young. And I'm like, 40 is young, what are you saying?
Right.
So yeah, this is the kind of misinformation, questions, and conversation that happens with me on social media.
Over to you, Madhvi. You curate bespoke experiences. Tell us something that has come to you in terms of, an aspiration someone has in curating an experience, or common things that people like to do when it comes to holistic wellness.
Sure. So basically, just a small introduction about me. I'm a global luxury brand consultant, and we believe not only in beauty inside but outside. And outside, it could be in various ways, like of course, beautifying homes, art, real estate, hospitality, weddings, fashion designers, jewelry, health, wellness, beauty. So we deal in all these verticals. And I launched my actually luxury club last year, and my company is Luxury Co Biz. So basically, I think experiences like even these. So there are some of the club members which are here, and every event that we have been curating or inviting them in collaboration have been better than the other. So we've had many of them. We've done it at the farmhouses, we've done it at the Delhi Golf Club, Gymkhana, and different event every time. So I think more than me, even the audience sitting here, the members sitting here, they can tell you what kind of experiences they get when they come for our events. And as I said, that each one is better than the other, and it's an experimental event. So we also did high tea at the Ramula Bachchanji's farmhouse, which was a very differently curated with the selected limited number of people, only about 25 to 30. And it's an exclusive group. It's only by invitation, and we kind of, curate it over maybe sometimes a Sufi music dancer. Sometimes, they're very different, like all high-end networking events with high-profile, distinguished guests as our members from all verticals, business, jewelers, realtors, every industry. And I believe since I'm here, need to speak about beauty. I've been on board with celebrity wedding designer Angelo Garini, who says I'm the architect of people's weddings. So anything can be beautiful. I've been on board with Camille Alban and Desange salons to have them all over India. And Habib's, I consult Habib's, and they believe in natural products like onion oil. So best is go back to roots, and I was featured in Mail Today for aging beautifully and gracefully some about 15 years back.
Right.
And I believe in back to roots. And everything Indian, actually, because sometimes we say that we should have all imported stuff, imported, cosmetics or imported beauty treatments and all that. But I think best is whichever country you are, I think that suits you the best.
Oh,
Thank
great.
you.
So that actually takes me to my next query. We at Global Spa really promote holistic wellness. And these days, everywhere, there are so many homegrown brands when it comes to cosmetic brands. It's almost a deluge. How can one differentiate between a genuine product and something which can be a fab?
Sure. Now, that's a very important question, in fact, because I believe it's when you're using a product, it is not just about the experience that you're opening a bottle, the packaging, the smell. When you're applying, it's also a kind of a little self-care moment that you're spending with yourself, but also it is something that you are believing in to give you some results. And that's the key. So I feel there's so much knowledge available. First of all, you should understand your skin type and use the products which are going to suit you for your skin type. And then there is also an important thing to know that what are you treating with those products? Is it just the basic skincare routine, the CTM sunblock routine that you're doing, or you're wanting to treat something which is like acne scars, wrinkles, or pigmentation? Because that's where you need to use certain actives. And these are all science-backed things. So read the ingredients, understand what percentage is it, and go online and inform yourself also about it. There is so much available in the market. I would love to apply a rose gel on my face or aloe vera gel, but would I think that the rose gel would remove the pigmentation? That's a wrong expectation. That's where I would, go for other products, use a vitamin C serum, which is science-backed, use certain product ingredients having depigmenting agents. So understanding the products and working in tandem with your doctor. A doctor will not only help you with your skin care routine, but they will make a journey for you. Taking care of your skin is a journey, not just one day. Like my patients would say, doctor, I'll just do this and then I'm okay. I don't have to do anything. No, your skin is the largest organ of your body. It's the only organ which is actually on the outside, which is actually showing you what is happening. It is facing all the brunt of pollution, your hormones, your stress, rather than your inside organs, your liver, your spleen, other organs, you can't even see what's happening to them. So you need to take care of your skin, your organ, because that is going through a lot. And different age, different seasons, the requirement will change, because it is not only exposed to the internal stresses but also the outside stresses. So your skincare routine changes with the season, changes with your skin type, changes with your age, changes with the indication or the need that you need. So trust your doctor and work very closely with them.
Thank you. Similarly, over to your dental wellness, and there is again so many products, so many new trends coming up. What can ensure a good smile?
One thing is that somebody will come and say, I want a Justin Bieber smile, I want a Aishwarya Rai smile. It doesn't work like that. You have a face profile. Everybody, there is something in art, in beauty, in cosmetics. There is a thing which is called golden proportion. So your face also has a golden proportion and it has certain types. You have, so why do women with oval teeth will look more attractive than the rest? People who have, if you divide your face, when you pull your hairline back, the front face, the mid face and the lower face, if it is equal in, so you will have a more attractive face, and that's why some people are more attractive than the rest, because the left and right side is not equal. There will somebody, I have a dimple on my right and I don't have a dimple on my left, but it's not ever balanced. There is a slight deviation in the certain face structures. So we have in dentistry, everybody says, I want this smile. Are your smile window, the number of teeth which are visible when you smile is your smile window. So everybody's smile is different. There are some people whose you can see only the upper teeth when they smile. You can see somebody's molar to molar, you can see the second last molar when they smile. You can see somebody's gummy smile where you can see the gums and the teeth. Some people, they talk and no teeth are visible. There's some people who are teeth upper and lower. So your bite, the way your occlusion is matters the most, and your smile window is very, very important. So every smile cannot be fitted on to everybody. For some treatments may be successful, some others, the other treatment may not be successful. To design a smile today, we can do various treatments from aligners to veneers to thinniers to lumineers to these are laminates. So these are all various types with which you can manifest a smile, and you can create that. And sometimes the look, it may not be the laminates may not work where veneers are needed, or thinniers may not work because your bite has no space and you might need some crowns. So everything and every person, so one shoe size will not fit you.
Yeah.
So if your expectation is that I will look like X or Miss World after this, it is not going to work.
Right.
You can only improvise it to a certain degree.
Right.
Like you can whiten the teeth. They all see the TV ads and think that, this is the way whitening teeth whitening will change, and I will have this white perfect teeth. Or they have this misconception and a myth that the white teeth are perfect teeth.
Right.
In fact, there was a very old actress, Indian actress called Moshmi Chatterjee, which I don't know whether it's
Yes.
familiar with or
I'm
not.
sure everybody
but
knows.
she had the most attractive smile,
Right.
even though she had a peg lateral and she had a canine which was inside. So you don't necessarily, this thing about perfection is something which I just don't agree with. Some things which are imperfect, it can be your own style statement, and it is exclusive only to you. That is you, because that imperfection gives you that perfect look.
Yes. So we have Asudha with us who talk a lot about inner beauty and wellness. So what's your idea of connecting the two? How do you think your inner wellness reflects on your your holistic
First
self?
of all, I just loved what you said about like individuality and imperfection, because I think that is so apt. Sometimes when people get things corrected, they end up looking like it's just a very robotic look rather than a very human and a natural and a very they lose that sensuality, and it just becomes like a very tick on the box. But to answer your question, I absolutely think that wellness and beauty are deeply connected. I don't know about if you know about my history. I used to have grade 4 endometriosis, and along with that, I used to have major skin problems. I used to have really bad acne. I had seborrheic dermatitis. I used to have rosacea and whatever. And endometriosis, as you know, is an incurable disease. But so to basically sort of cure myself, or just like sort of reduce the severity of the symptoms, I started doing yoga, I started doing meditation, I gave up gluten, I gave up all the inflammatory foods. The endometriosis did not get, eventually I had to get like whatever done. But as far as there was so much transformation in the way I looked. The things like rosacea, I don't have
Right.
rosacea anymore. What? Seborrheic dermatitis? What is that? Pimples? What is that? All gone. And it didn't happen, just in the blink of an eyelid.
That's so.
It happened because my intention was long reaching, it was far reaching. If my intention was that in 3 months I want to clear my skin and these are the changes I'm going to make for myself, it would have never happened. I did all this and my skin improved, my weight improved, everything improved only because my intention was like, I want to get rid of the disease, and everything that happened was a side effect. So people need to look at beauty and skin and hair and radiance as a side effect of good health, and then make the lifestyle changes rather than 3 mahine mein patli ho jaun, 3 mahine mein mera ye ho jaye, because you'll never be able to stick to it.
Right.
That's my point of view.
Nothing is overnight. Right.
Yes.
Right. No temporary fixes.
Correct.
Right. So Madhvi, to give us one trend that you see right now in terms of wellness or beauty that people are doing, or they've come to you for.
So, one thing I would like to talk about is being body positive for sure. Because, it's never good to compare yourself with the models or fashion designers, because the kind of world that we are in the luxury segment, size zero, this, that, I think body positive is very, very important. And to your question, in the wellness industry, since I said that I've been closely related with clients from all the industries, I've also been on board with mental wellness coach Kanchan Rai, who is right now here. And so the latest trend is definitely the wellness retreats. So they are picking up big time. A lot of people are going for their weight loss and of course mental well-being and overall holistic wellness. And that's the thing picking up big time. And I plan to organize a luxury club, outstation trip with my members because they're also willing to go for one of these wellness retreats in near future.
So I want to club two questions for you, Dr. Gitika. One is that we generally feel that all old-time Dadi Nani nuskas are always valid for everyone. That is one question. And the second question is, how can integrating wellness practices can really enhance long-term beauty?
So the first question is integrating the nuskas.
Yeah, so people generally feel that whatever old age recipes are, rituals are effective for everyone. Is that true?
But when it comes to DIYs, I belong to a family where my mom and mom-in-law absolutely believe that whatever is there inside the kitchen, if you can eat it, you can put it on your face. And that's the theory they have had. Nothing wrong. My mom-in-law, she looks glamorous. And Dr. Ekta treats her also. So she looks beautiful and so does my mom. But I feel that these DIYs can only work just so much. You should know what not to do rather than what you can do. What not to do is something that I'm going to tell you today so that you remember. If there is something lying inside the fridge which is going expired or anything and you don't want to throw it and you put it on your face, no, you don't do that. Secondly, patch test is always important. Third, if you're using any actives like retinols, etc. on your skin, don't go ahead and do a scrub at home because you will physically exfoliate your skin while the retinols, all the AHAs, BHAs that you're using, those are working as chemical exfoliants. So that will further irritate your skin. Third, don't apply any of these cinnamon on your face that can irritate, leave your skin very, very inflamed. Never ever do that. So easiest and the most easy thing to do is, which I love to include in my DIY nuskas, which work for in fact everyone, is using curd. Curd is beautiful. It is full of nutrition. It is full of lactic acid, prebiotics, probiotics, which is also working to balance the pH of the skin, hydrating your skin. You can add a little bit of turmeric to that or honey, and it's beautiful. And third, of course, I know a lot of people who still apply lemon, tomato on their face thinking it will detan. It is absolutely going to irritate your skin. When you will be exposed to the sun, your skin will be inflamed and red. Never, never, never do that. So no lemon on the face.
Thank
The
you.
second question
Yeah.
was wellness, right?
Yes, that's how practicing wellness can help you achieve long-term.
Absolutely, there is no shortcut to beauty. And Vasudha here shared a very personal story over here, which is beautiful and actually talks about all the pillars, which is going to give you a 360-degree approach, which is your diet, anti-inflammatory diet, which is no sugar, no dairy, no processed food. I get patients who say, really doctor, no sugar, no sugar, no. They'll keep asking me, yes, no sugar. So no sugar, no dairy and no processed food. That's absolutely most important to remember. Beauty, sleep, you cannot compensate for your sleep. It's not like today I'll sleep for 4 hours, tomorrow I'll sleep for 10 hours and compensate. No, you need to have that sleep not only for your bodily functions to happen but also for your skin. Third, fitness and your lifestyle. Now, I don't tell you to hit the gym every day. Different people, different things work. If it's yoga for you, do that. If it's walks for you, do that. But have some goals because that is what is going to give you long-term benefits. We are integrating a lot of wellness in our skincare routines, in our clinics also, which is oxygen chamber, IV drips, hydrocolon therapy. Reason why is because we now believe in long-term beauty benefits rather than just quick, short treatments. Thank you.
Thank you. Likewise, for dental wellness, if we talk about something that you can suggest that one can do to ensure good dental health.
When everybody was talking about outside, inside, if you are not happy, the smile does not come from the teeth. One has to realize that it is just one part of it. Unless and until that happiness is from within, it is not going to reflect, and it's going to reflect on your eyes, on your skin, on your smile. So just doing one thing is never going to be. So that's how the whole concept of Smile Studio changed, because we integrated everything together. Because if you want to correct gummy smile, people used to think I need a surgery. That was a big myth that they used to think that, but just 2 small shots of Botox can correct this gummy smile. Gitika will endorse that. So just correction of gummy smile, you don't need a big surgery. You can just do a small Botox injection and it can just correct your smile. You don't necessarily seem to, you don't necessarily need to smile molar to molar for that having that charming smile, you know. You can have people who think that you get braces and you'll get straight teeth and it'll give you a beautiful smile. That's another myth which people have, because sometimes that uh, tooth is placed in a particular angle or it's in that rotation that it adds a lot of character to your smile. So not everything you can fix it by doing dentistry. There are so many things which are add on to it. So you have to find a dentist who is more like an artist to figure out that this is going to work for you and this is the solution for you. For that beautiful smile, you don't need to fix everything. Like, you know, for correcting your fever, you need to find out the inherent reason why you have it.
Right.
The same thing that smile fix is not just dental fix, it's a holistic fix.
Sure. Madhvi, over to you. We all are consuming a lot of luxury from what we would consume in previous years. How do you think luxury is helping in creating the whole perception of wellness and better life?
Surely. So we are coming up with a project in Mukteshwar as a family, and we already have a homestay ready. We are developing super ultra luxury cottages there. So I think going in the nature. Like I met some people from Mukteshwar, and I asked them that what keeps you so young. There was a lady I met. She was 80-year-old, and her skin was glowing. She was very fit. So I asked her the question. I said, I really wonder that you don't look your age. What is the secret to your age? And she said, like living in these surroundings with no pollution and breathing fresh air, going on treks and meeting our like-minded people, having more parties than Delhi, card parties, enjoying among ourselves, that keeps us healthy, fresh and energetic and young. So I think that's one thing that I would like to take people to Mukteshwar. These are super ultra luxury cottages which are going to be managed by the Leisure Group of Hotels. Leisure Group of Hotels are the main people in Uttarakhand. They have this Taj, Hariganga, Corbett, Taj, all these properties. So these are going to be managed by them. 7-star living, and you will get to eat organic food. You will breathe fresh air, which is very very important, especially after what Delhi is going through. So that's the one
Definitely.
thing that I would really recommend and suggest to everybody.
Definitely. Vasudha, tell us one myth that you used to believe in and later realize it's not right.
That face massages, they don't work.
Okay.
I used to always think, what rubbish and ye bakwas, whatever. Till the time I started trying it myself, and the way it sculpted and toned my face and just defined these things. Like literally, I feel if you compare my pictures now to pictures like even 4 years back, my nose is sharper, my cheekbones are higher, and that's just because I massage my face every single day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we're almost concluding now. So we have such beautiful ladies here. I can't let them go without sharing with us one tip that you religiously follow to make you look like this. It may be hair care, it can be maybe skin care, something. Please share with us that you religiously follow.
I'll share two.
Okay, very well. More the merrier.
One is, of course, I do follow what I'm preaching over here. I do apply sunblock and I do reapply every 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
And so do my kids. Secondly, I never sleep with makeup on. I always double cleanse my face. No matter how tired I am, I would make sure that I do my skincare routine.
Thank you. Over to you.
Two things I always tell everyone for a good dental health. The first thing in the morning, do oil pulling. It is the oldest thing in Ayurveda and it really works. You can take any coconut oil, you can take any cold pressed oil online, or you can even, Colgate has this
Yes, they have
oil,
oil pulling
also
oil.
oil pulling
It has
oil.
some long and all that.
Yeah, so you can use any of them. You don't have to do it for a long while. You just take it for 30 seconds in your mouth, swirl it around and spit it out. When you spit it out, don't spit it out in the basin because it's going to get clogged. You can just take it on a tissue and bin it. So oil pulling is mandatory. First thing in the morning and the last thing at night is use a water pick. The water flosser really, really helps. Even after brushing, if you use a water flosser, you'll be surprised that how much food remains in the interdental spaces. That will get cleaned out so well and so beautifully that you will feel that your mouth is refreshed and looking so fresh.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Please, over to you, Masuda. Or Madhvi, as you want to take it.
So I think it's not just one thing. All the things that both of you have mentioned. Besides that, I happen to be the author of a book called What Life Taught Me, which speaks about mantras on success. So my personal go-to would be staying positive and happy, because unless you are happy, you cannot make the world happy. So it's very, very important to stay positive. So that's my tip for the day.
Thank you.
My tip for the day would be don't forget to breathe. We are in the, really, I mean, we're in this sort of thing that we are just like, we like extreme, we go to extremes, right? Either it's asana practice where you're doing handstands, or you want meditation where you're doing stillness. There's a flyover between
Right.
meditation and asana.
Right.
Uske niche hamara pranayam hai jo bichara sab log bhul gaye hain.
Right.
But the thing is, I did this workshop with Dr. Robert Swabodh, who is like a very learned teacher, and he's also a tantric and whatever. And he said, if there's one spiritual practice that you do for the rest of your life, forget about meditation, forget about vipassana karni, jo sab kuch maine kiya hua hai. If you just have to do one meditation practice, just do your anulom vilom for 20 minutes every day. Obviously 20 minutes of breathing every day is a lot, but I'm telling you, you start with like 2 minutes, then you start to 5 minutes, then and do this over a few years till you reach 20 minutes, and you will see the difference it makes in your skin. Because ultimately it's all about like everything is connected to our breath. That story about like which sense is the there's that
Yes.
story na jatak tales
Yes.
jo hamari hai,
Yes.
in which,
Yes,
which
yes.
sense is the strongest, and if the
Strongest.
breath is not there,
Right.
then we are not there.
We are not
So never forget to breathe, basically.
Wow. So that was some insightful session. We all have got a lot of information that we can incorporate in our daily lives. Thank you, ladies, for joining us here. We just will have a photo op now.
Is a water pick. So it is a water pick is a water flosser, like you're told about flossing. So you take a thread and floss it.
Yeah.
So when you have interdental spaces, if you use a thread to floss it, you sometimes damage your gums.
Yes, yes.
But there is this thing called water flosser. It's available on Amazon, and there are a lot of Indian brands which are available from the price range of 1800 to 2200. So you can use a water flosser. So it's like a battery operated brush with a container with which you can fill up water with and use it in your mouth and rotate it. And so all the food, they say 60% of the food is stuck interdentally between the two teeth. So you can use it to water flosser to keep the gums clean and healthy, and you just realize it if you just use oil pulling and water flosser, half your dentist woes will go down to zero, and your bills will come down to even much lesser than
so
50%.
we don't get to meet a smart and beautiful dentist like you.
You can come and meet me for a coffee.
Acha, but can this water flosser be used? Say if I buy one, can others use it also?
There are, there are some water flossers. They have come out with 4 to 8 tips. So if you can separate the tips, you can use 2 for one person and 2 for the other. That works.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.